Miami Hurricanes men's basketball team, they will play Saturday in the Final Four. Tough matchup. They're playing UConn. They are 5 or 5.5 point underdogs going into that game. That's the second game, the late game. FAU will play San Diego State 6 p.m. or 6:10 p.m. on Saturday. They're 1.5 point underdogs.
Yeah, it's up to 2 now. FAU is a 2-point underdog. Miami is 5.5. It's going to be a heck of a Saturday because you got the Florida Derby at Gulfstream Saturday in the afternoon, and then you got March Madness Final Four, and both games ties to South Florida. This is going to be a fun Saturday.
And Coach Larranaga always tells us when we ask him about their ranking throughout the season, why aren't y'all higher? You don't get respect. He always says it doesn't matter till the end. Who gives a damn where they are in the AP? They're one of the best 4 teams in the nation right now. That's what I see.
True that.
Should have been ranked higher than a 5 seed, though, and they're proving it. That's all I'm saying. The selection committee dropped the ball.
What was the highest they were ranked all year, though, in the top 25? 13?
13.
I was going to say. They never broke the top 10. I read that somewhere.
Never broke the top 10. Yeah. That's wild. Now they're in the Final Four.
Everybody's saying the ACC's down because, the Blue Bloods had kind of a drop-off this year. Duke wasn't what they were all season, even though they finished really strong. UNC kind of fell off a little bit this year. Maybe they didn't fall off. Maybe the Hurricanes were better this year.
Talk about it, FIU Panther. Talk about it. Looks like we got a convert.
That? You ever think about that selection committee? Bunch of bozos.
It turns. Y'all remember when Alabama couldn't play football?
Yeah. No, it's funny. Like, and again, I hope this is like a turn for the permanent. It's going to be very difficult because NIL and the transfer portal, like it's going to be very difficult. But I would submit to you, if you're a young player coming out right now, you can play in Miami for Jim Larranaga. I mean, that's kind of and John Ruiz is gonna take you to dinner. I mean, whatever he's gonna. Allegedly, I don't know. You don't even have to say allegedly, but I don't know.
You know who doesn't like the NIL stuff? It's the Dukes and the North Carolinas.
100%.
Yeah, because
100%. And people were complaining about it. People were saying, "Oh, this is going to ruin college sports because these massive programs that have all the money, they're going to get all the players." Guess what happened? Duke wasn't able to get the players that Miami was able to get.
Yep, and that's what leveling the playing field. This is what it's looking like. We've been partners on radio before NIL existed, and we talked about what it's going to do, like the proof's in the pudding. The leveling of the playing field is there, and I love it.
Yep.
I love that these little schools can start being relevant. I love that there's not all, the Vanderbilt might be able to come back in the SEC. How some of these teams can really figure out the guys. You're not going to have as much money as Alabama. You're not have as much money as Duke. Allocate your little money to the people that can change your franchise, organization, whatever you want to call it. And UM is a spitting image of what NIL should have done to every school that knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but I don't want to, and I'm not saying you guys are doing it, but I also don't want to downplay this run and say, look at what NIL can do. Bro, the Canes built up a really good program. Coach L's recruited very well over the past couple of years. And look at FAU, like both of these programs are a testament to just recruiting well, building a really solid
100%.
Foundation, and not needing the premier talent that is going to end up being in the NBA, but just building a solid all-around basketball team. And you go on a run, cute little run.
100%.
Look where you're at.
You know what the thing is? If you use NIL as a complement to great recruiting, great coaching, and an investment in the program, if that's a complementary part of it, you've got it. Yep. If you think you're going to go buy a national championship team, look at the Brooklyn Nets. You don't have to look any further than that. You can go buy the greatest talent. It doesn't mean anything, especially when it's a one-and-done tournament. So I'm with you, Solana. Like, I don't buy the whole thing of oh, look, NIL, they bought themselves a nice little Final Four run. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a disservice to what Jim Larranaga has done down here.
Yes, and I would say, and that's what I was going to say, both of y'all are 100% correct, but I don't believe Nigel Pack or Omier is here without NIL. So to your
Correct.
point, Solana, Coach L had to figure out how to have these guys work together.
Or at least on the radar.
Yeah.
I don't think Miami's on the radar. No one's getting Bryce Young money at University of Miami. Sorry. That's the reality. So I'm with you. NIL doesn't exist. Nigel Pack's probably not looking at UM. The Cavender twins are probably not looking at the women's team. Like, I'm with you. But then you got to go beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to have, like I said, great coaching, a commitment to the program. You have to have the right pieces. And there's a lot more to it. So I will never accept because if you want to play that game, then Duke, because they had the best facilities, because they were a blue blood, because they had the best facilities, they were buying the best players. Well, no, like you made an appealing program, and the fact that you had the best stadium and the best shoe deal and the best facilities, like that was all part of it. But then you had to go out there and win. So I don't know that it's that different.
It's the thought of, if you give the McNeese State head coach Alabama's roster, couldn't he go to the college football playoffs? If you give Nick Saban McNeese State's roster, is he competing?
Right.
No, Nick Saban's going 1-11 just like that McNeese State does. You give a good coach, a good organization, a good school, good talent, now you're going to that next level like we saw the Canes. But I'm with you, Hawk. But you can't buy a team. People have tried this for decades at different levels to buy a championship. It's impossible.
Plus, we're going to pretend like Duke and North Carolina don't have NIL money?
Yeah, I mean, that's silly.
Yeah.
That's what really upsets me about this. Like, bro, everybody knows that Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, they've been paying players. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying anything controversial here.
You say that. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but we're gonna say we're really gonna say all the best players go to the top schools just because it's Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky. No, they've been paying players, and now they have that NIL money too.
They've allegedly been paying players. That's what I've learned. When you say something that might upset somebody.
And again, but you could say they've been paying them through shoes and swag and gear, stuff that other programs can't afford. They don't have the deals. But with Duke, like, you still needed, in my opinion, Coach K there. With Miami, you needed Jim Larranaga there.
Yep. And with the money thing, like a Duke, let's say a Duke can pay a kid $1 million. I can get $1 million at Duke. Okay, I might sit the bench. I'm behind 5 McDonald All-Americans. I can get $800,000 at UM. I'm going to be the star. I'm going to start every single time I touch the court. I'm going to take I'm still getting paid. I might not take that money, but the smaller schools still have some kind of purse to give these kids the money, because that's what kids want. Now, it's so funny to having this conversation at being an old guy where I wasn't even allowed to say money during recruiting, and now you can talk about the financial side of it. But the evening of the playing field is what we're talking about, and is what we're watching in real time as we see these teams, these small teams, work their way up the totem pole.